Welcome to the Morning Nerdy News. I'm your host, Gray Falcon. First off, I want to go into something that's near and dear to me, and that would be to go over and look at facebook.com Geeky Gifts by Amber. Now, this is done by my wife, so full discretion there, but she makes these incredible hats like the one I am wearing today. As you can see down in the bottom corner, we have celebrities that have purchased her hats. She has masks that she makes. You can see me down below in the teddy bear mask, and other articles of clothing. Pick up something for the holidays and give something unique this year rather than just, that generic toy that's on the list or, that weird standard piece of article of clothing that everyone's wearing. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get over to the news now, and we're going to start off with Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch has put up a blog post that says basically thanking everyone for coming out and playing Ghost of Tsushima Legends. Well, in this, they also make an announcement that they are going to start putting in weekly challenges, and there is going to be a raid for the 4-player survival mode. I am guessing you'll probably want one of each type just to be able to maximize the abilities of all of the characters, and go in and just have that extra challenge thrown in. So it is great to see that kind of during this lull, during this downtime for games, because we have so many big games that are about to come out in November, that we have great new content to go in and fill our time. So if you haven't played Ghost of Tsushima, I highly recommend it. Probably pick it up on sale here sometime soon, and I highly recommend going in, trying this out. Do the 2-player co-op with friends, or if you have a group, go out with 4 of you and do the survival mode and hit up the new raid that's coming out. And then we have some other PlayStation news, but it's not quite from PlayStation. That we have a tweet that came out from German Stands, and they are creating covers for the PlayStation 5, so we can flip through here, see what the different ones look like. Now, can't confirm quality, how sturdy these things are going to be, or even fit and finish, because if you go over to their website, even they say they are not affiliated with PlayStation or Sony in any way, shape, or form, so we don't know how they're actually getting the molds for these in order to give the colors, but it is nice to see that we, hopefully, assuming this isn't a scam, now we do have some people who are going out purchasing these, doing reviews, so hopefully once those reviews start to come out, we'll know for sure that this is a true and quality product at $40 a pop for these. But until that time, probably hold off on spending your money on something like this. But from the renders, and keep in mind these are just renders, they do look really good. And we're going to go ahead and move over into hardware news on the PC side. And we're going to start off with AMD's Zen 3 powered Ryzen 5 5600X for $299 is now the fastest single-threaded chip in Passmark. Now, we don't have the other chips that are higher than this, so we don't know about the 58, 57, or 59 or 5950X. So all these higher end chips that are coming out, this is kind of where a lot of people have been going to purchase their things, especially if you're just doing gaming and you only need a price to performance type of chip rather than having to invest in the high-end ones that are also designed for a lot of workloads. Well, in this particular case in Passmark, it's getting a score of 3,495 for single thread performance, which is outperforming the i9-10900K, which only got a score of 3,177. Now, you can look through here, you can see that this is only showing Intel in here. In comparison to this, we're not seeing the older AMD processors, and we're not seeing the higher end new ones in here. So we'll have to wait and find out, because potentially, given what AMD has shown off, that these are going to perform even better than this. It's looking really good for AMD, and it's looking really good in the mid-tier market for their processors. If you just need something to game on and you don't need all those extra cores and all those extra threads to get that type of performance. And on the other side of the ball with AMD, their AMD Radeon RX 6000 Big Navi GPU graphics card, PCB Leaks out, features dual 8-pin connectors, a 256-bit bus, and virtual link port. And then we have the AMD Radeon RX 6800 XT Big Navi GPU alleged in 3D mark benchmarks, faster than a GeForce RTX 3080 at 4K, but slower in Port Royal ray tracing. So what this is saying is that probably because of the additional RAM, or so it has that 16 gigs rather than the 10 that exists in the 3080. So with that extra RAM in there, it's probably giving it a little bit of boost in actual performance when it comes to standard rendering. However, once you start getting into ray tracing, which is where a lot of the new features are going to be coming from, a lot of the new lighting effects, it then falls behind. So if ray tracing is important to you, and this turns out to be true, then you're going to be better off going with the 3080 card. However, if that's not a big deal to you, the ray tracing, you can't really tell a difference in a lot of it. And I know some people look at it and they go, I think this looks better without ray tracing. And in some cases, I can agree with that because it just gets so dark that certain areas become unplayable because the lighting hasn't been produced and set up in a way that makes it really usable in those situations. But in other situations, it just creates that absolute gorgeous glow effect, the perfect lighting on and around shoulders. So it's one of those give and take things depending upon scenario where I think ray tracing looks better in certain scenarios, but there are some scenarios, not as many anymore, but some scenarios where it doesn't look as good. And we'll get an advantage on that side, according to this, with the AMD Radeon 6800 XT. And then over on the Nvidia side, Nvidia preps new GeForce RTX 30 GA102 series SKU to tackle AMD's Radeon RX 6800 series to feature 7,424 cores and 320-bit bus. Originally, the 3070 was supposed to be on the GA104, and it still is coming out on a GA104, but there are leaks because the other day we had information that said that they had canceled their higher end cards. So the 3080 that had the 20 gigs of RAM on it, the 3070 that had 16 on it, and this could be part of the reason why. It could be that extra memory wasn't helping enough for gaming performance. We don't know entirely for sure. There are also rumors that there is issues with getting the GDDR6X, or that they're already having enough supply issues that they aren't going to be able to produce those cards. So if they do produce them, they'll have to be made later. But this could also be something else where they need to upgrade and use the new platform just to be able to compete with the 6800, because based on that prior thing, if it's performing just as good as a 3080, the 3070 isn't going to stand a chance if it's priced at an equal level or maybe just slightly above, and we're going to have to see some adjustment happen there, and they're going to have to come in and say, hey, here's this other card, here we go, we're giving you this information in order to compete at that price point, which could be really bad for Nvidia in the short term if they don't have something that can come out quickly with that. That's going to be it for today. Remember to click the follow if you haven't already. If you're watching this over on YouTube, click the subscribe button and follow me on Twitter as The Gray Falcon. Until next time, have a good one.